Hey you guys, welcome back to Angel Angela, and on this topic I just wanted to make a quick video on how the narcissist will lie straight to your freaking face. Yes, the narcissist, they will lie to your face. They will lie to your face. You will catch them in the act. You will see things with your own eyes, and they will act like they did not do it, or they will act like oblivious, dumbfounded, or they just won't say anything. They'll laugh. You know, they'll laugh. It's kind of like when you fall on the floor by accident and then you get up and you're just like, oh, I'm embarrassed because I got caught. Because I got caught slipping, falling down, and now I'm going to laugh, try to laugh it off, hoping that maybe you'll think it's funny too. Like, what is that all about? What is that all about when they start laughing? Like, they're laughing like it's funny, like you're gonna laugh with them. Like, oh, you know what? You're absolutely right. This is actually pretty funny. You know, they're laughing because they got caught, or they're quiet and they're acting like they're mad. Now they have these evil eyes, right? Now they have these evil eyes, and it almost feels like they're really angry at you. Like you did something wrong. You shouldn't have investigated. You shouldn't have been looking for anything, right? They're like, that's not part of the game. Part of the game, you weren't even supposed to be looking for anything. You're supposed to trust me, because relationships are built on trust. So it's you who messed this thing up between us, because you were looking for stuff. You should have respected me as your man. You should have respected me as your woman. You should have respected me as your family, your friend, your coworker, your whoever, business partner. You should have respected me and just accepted the business deal that I did under the table behind your back. You weren't supposed to look at the finances. Hey, I know that mom's house was going to be sold and split between her kids. Her assets were going to be split, but you weren't supposed to go and look and find out that I did things behind your back so that I can take everything. You weren't supposed to look. You weren't supposed to try to figure out. You were supposed to just listen, believe, and trust. Even when I lie, you were just supposed to believe my lies. These people lie like you're supposed to believe their lies. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You're supposed to believe my lies. Like, who goes around lying and then expecting you to believe their lies? Like, think about that. Who lies on purpose all the time, and they lie so much that it's just became like part of their personality, where they might even lie for no reason? Like, how does that happen? How do people do that, right? Lie for no reason. And sometimes, of course, with a motive, you know, of course, sometimes even with a motive. But with a narcissist, they will lie to your face when you're not looking for something, and they will still accuse you of trying to find them in the act, and you didn't even look for it. These things just happen to you know, manifest in front of you because of all the wrong things they've done to you. They've been lying and lying. Part of the game is to not lie. They're like, hey, you're not supposed to look, you're supposed to trust. Part of the game is to not lie, because it will come to light. You know? So they will sit here and gaslight you about what you need to do in a relationship, while lying to you, while betraying you, while using you, even using you as a sex slave, using you for your finances, building a better life for themselves, using you as protection, as a weapon, as a tool. You know, What makes it so sick about these people lying to your face is that most of the time, God wants to wake you up. God wants you to know what they are doing. Because, see, if God wasn't playing his role in trying to wake you up, and it was all left to the narcissist, you would never have woken up. God saved you. And to some of those people that ended up in really bad situations or dead or whatever the case, God tried to wake them up, and they still didn't want to wake up. They knew the truth. They still didn't care about the truth. They knew how serious, how evil, how wicked this person was. They knew he was a pedophile. They knew a whole bunch of horrendous things about them, and they still took them back. They gave the narcissist so much focus that they didn't focus on the people that cared about them. They didn't focus on the people they would leave behind. They didn't focus on their own children. Chasing around a pathological liar. And what does the narcissist do if you die? They're gonna keep lying. It doesn't. You think to yourself, maybe if I die, people would think, oh shit, she died. Oh shit, I treated her bad. You think they would have empathy? I've talked about narcissists and funerals before because I've been there. I experienced that when I had my miscarriage and I buried my baby, and I saw people taking pictures of me or taking pictures of themselves, but they didn't even want to hug me. They didn't even want to give me no love, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I started to see how narcissistic people were, and I was like, this shit, I feel like I'm in hell, and people are rejoicing around me and trying to act like they're showing empathy or support. So I dealt with all of that alone. I was alone. And if, you know, a lot of times these people will talk about you behind your back. I had a cousin that didn't show up to the funeral, didn't call me for the funeral, didn't say shit to me. And, you know, I said to myself when her mother showed up, which is not my aunt, my immediate aunt, she's my aunt by marriage, and I felt her energy. She had these big black shades. I couldn't see her eyes. I was like, this lady is fake. I don't even talk to her. I never talk to her. My whole life I've never talked to her, but she shows up, right? And I said, she's trying to make herself look good because she knows I don't talk to my family. So she's trying to make herself look good. That's when stuff was really hitting me hard, right? And I said to myself, she's fake. In my mind, I was just watching all this shit play out, and people were preying on me at a vulnerable moment, but I could see it in their eyes. While it was going on, I was grieving, and I couldn't really focus on other people, you know? And I realized, you know, that people were using me for clout because they also had, it was the same people having a problem with my family, right? The same people that have a problem with my family, they're popping up. And I always talk to, you know, people who survive from narcissist abuse, and I always tell them, because I went through this situation in different ways where you might link up with people because of your common enemies, but it's better to stand alone because most of those people have a different version or a different story, or a lot of times they had a role in fucking with you. They were gossiping about you too. It's just that now they're on the outside looking in, and they're linking up with you, you know, when narcissists link up with your enemies. So a lot of times those are narcissists linking up with you, and you're thinking they're empaths, but some of you can recall moments where they didn't have your back, or moments where they, where you had their back, and when you were being, you know, sacrificed by your family, friends, or whoever, you saw that they didn't even defend you, and you were nice to them the whole time, or you were nice to the narcissist family. You bought them things, you know, or you celebrated them on their birthday. You came and you brought them a wine bottle, or, you know, and when everything's playing out, they're looking at you with evil eyes, and you have never done anything to these people. And you know, it's better to just, they were better off just staying, just not picking a side. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that their family, friends are narcissists. They know. So one thing about me is that when all this was going on, I felt her fakeness. I could feel her lying straight to my face. She told me, you know, your uncle and your cousins wish they could be here. And I was like, in my eyes, like, if they did, why didn't they call me, or why didn't they send me a card or flowers or anything? Them motherfuckers didn't send shit. They didn't put no money on my baby's funeral. I was like, these people are fake, right? They're just showing up to take pictures and to act like they supported me, you know? So I really was there at that funeral by myself. I had a couple people around me, but they were all, none of them were there for me. You know, it was just two people there for me and their children, and their children, of course, don't give a damn. They're just like, here, I'm gonna bring my kids to make an example out of you. You know what I'm saying? So it was very, very blasphemous, but that was part of my awakening. When I died was when I gave birth. When I was at the hospital for nearly, like, you guys, I was at the hospital giving birth for like nearly 2 days, and I thought I was gonna die. And I thought I was gonna die because I couldn't believe what I was being told. I couldn't believe that they were saying, like, oh, your baby's not gonna make it. And I couldn't believe that if my baby wasn't gonna make it, I was telling them, like, cut me open at this point. Like, put me to sleep, cut me open, C-section, anything, get this baby out of me. Like, I thought I was gonna die because I knew my baby was gonna die, and I felt like I was in hell. And I thought I wasn't gonna survive that. I thought that I would never be the same after that, you know. And I'm a lot stronger now because of that, because that was when I died. Like, I died giving birth, and who I am now is not who I used to be. And it's like after that, everything fell apart. The way I saw the narcissist fell apart. The love I had for them fell apart. It was like I finally realized, you lied to my face many times, and I forgave you many times, and I shouldn't have never even forgave you once, because you're a pathological liar. And people don't understand that forgiving people over and over again is going to be your ultimate failure, because when someone shows you who they are, that quote is really true. They're not going to change. They're showing you who they are. It's like you meet a coworker, you meet someone, and then you might not like them in the beginning, or they might not like you, and then you end up getting along. And then later on, you know, you're not friends anymore. And then you realize, like, that person was fake. Like, I gave this person more fuel than they gave me. I supported this person more than they supported me. And the only times they were around me is when they had problems. And when they were around me and they had problems, they were pretending like they were happy and they don't have any problems, because they didn't want to tell me their personal business, but they wanted to come around me and get all of my information. You know what I'm saying? So that's how narcissists work. So when they believe, when they do these type of things to you, you have to believe them, you know. But that's when I died. I died in that hospital bed. That was when I died. That was when my spirit just woke up. And I thought I was in a bad dream. I was like, my whole life, everything I went through, it almost felt like a bad dream. And then it was like I was waking up from the bad dream, but I was still stuck in the bad dream. Only that this time, I'm fully conscious and aware of what's going on. And I know I'm not fucking around with the narcissist. I'm not fucking around with no one, you know? Because now I understood, like, damn, I was walking blindly and just loving people and nurturing and nice. And, you know, and I'm still nice, because I give a lot of free game. And really, you know, it's all the narcissists online who are actually compensated from all of the empath's pain, because we're in hell. We're living in the narcissist world. So a lot of these people act like they're empaths, but they're educating you. They're not really sharing their stories with you. They're bullshitting you. You know, or they're pointing the fingers like, oh, you know, they're talking to you about narcissists in the community, or self-aware narcissists. They're talking to you about these people when they are those people. They are damn selves, and that's scary because I see it in their eyes. They have those like snake blank eyes, you know, and it's not those empaths dead eyes where it's full of pain. It's like full of evil, full of lies, still trying to be deceitful, you know? And when all that happened to me, a lot of the people in my family still didn't have empathy for me. Some of them tried to show up. The same people that hurt me did try to show up because they felt like, oh, it's a vulnerable moment, I'm gonna show up. But I was like, you know, you guys got to get the hell out of my house. Don't get the hell away from my property, because, you know, when people treat you like shit and then they want to show up when they know you're going through something, it's like, I've been going through something that led up to this situation. Because if I would have had my family, friends, support system, I would have left the narcissist. Some people have the opportunity, Some people have family and friends and the opportunity to have a support system even after the abuse. But some of us, we left everything we ever known for the narcissist. And then the narcissist knew that and still deceived us. And then they went back to their little narcissistic family because it was just a con. Everyone was in it. Their family was in it. Their family gave you hints and they felt like you deserved it as well. And a lot of those people have went through shit that you went through, but they like watching other people go through it. They like watching the pain that you're going through, you know. So I realized, like, you know, a lot of people are fake. I died and came back and it wasn't me anymore. And I said, all these people don't love you. You know, I was talking to myself. I was conscious. Here you are again. I was conscious. Here you are again. I hit the corner. He came back around. The hell? Anyway, I was fully conscious. And I was like, these people don't really care about you. And I was just spotting everything. Even while I was in the hospital for like almost 2 days giving birth to a baby I knew was going to die. The nurse kept going into the room and she tells my visitor, she tells my visitor, which was my aunt and my mom, she goes and tells them, if she needs help going to the bathroom or whatever, or cleaning her, or she needs help getting cleaned up or something, can basically do it yourself. Like, she's telling my family to do it, my mom and my aunt. And my aunt was like, what the hell is she coming in here telling us to do the work when she's the nurse? It's not that they mind helping me out, but why would you come and demand stuff? Like, she came in there demanding stuff, and that's when I was like, I'm in hell right now. I'm being attacked by demons. I'm in my mind drugged up, right, with the pain meds, but at the same time, I was fully conscious. That's why I don't know how certain people be off the meds and they say they act like they're not conscious and they act stupid and talk stupid. But I guess everybody's body reacts differently. But I'm thinking to myself, like, the nurse is a demon. That's what my conscious self said. The nurse is a demon. And I just kept studying her, watching her. And when I started going through really, really hard pain, when it started getting so bad where I was like, hey, just give me a C-section, she comes in and she's like, by law, we can't do that because the baby's developed and that'll be it'd be considered killing the baby and all this weird shit. And I'm like, well, you already said the baby's going to die, so what is it? At this point, I'm like, maybe my baby would have made it and it was all a lie. I don't know anymore. And I'm really done trying to figure it out. But that's what she said. That's what it's not that I don't believe her. I believe her. I believe her. But I feel like everything is set up by narcissists. How can you tell someone some bullshit like that? You know, when like it's basically it should be my option. I'm here. I should have options. I should have rights. But that's when I realized, like, you know, the medical field is designed by narcissists, and that's why I wasn't meant to be working for the medical field. And that's why my life changed in different ways, because it wasn't meant to be, because I saw the lack of empathy in everyone, the nurses, the doctors. And a lot of times I understood that they're busy, but in this scenario, it was like, oh, this bitch is really the Jezebel, really a demon, because she told me she could give me epidural, right? She's like, do you want to take epidural? And at first I said no, but then when the pain got worse, I was like, yeah, girl, I need, epidural. I think I'm gonna die. And maybe like 30 minutes passed by, and I was like, you know what? I need the epidural. So I told her, and she goes, oh, one of the doctors, the doctor that, prescribed it for you, he left, and a new doctor came in. And I was like, well, tell the new doctor to put this anesthetic, whatever, put it in me right now, right? Give me the epidural right now. And she comes back and she's like, the new doctor said he can't do it anymore. And I'm like, you're telling me within those 30 minutes, everything changed? You just offered it to me, and now you're telling me that he said he can't give it to me. So now I had to deal. It's almost like the motherfucker wanted me to go through pain and deal with what I went through. He wanted me to feel that shit, So I went through the pain, and the nurse kept looking at me like evilish. And then I remember, because I saw like a demon face in her pale ghost face. She was very pale, and she just looked like a demon. Like her nostrils were going back. She looked weird to me. And I remember telling her, I go, and it could have been the pain meds, but I'm looking at her, and I said to her, do you have children? And then she goes, yeah, I have 4. And I was like, I'm in so much pain. Like, that's all I said to her, because to me it was like, I don't really want to say much, but I want you to know how much pain I have. Like, I need help. I need the doctor to change his mind, something. So that's why I said what I said. And she ends up saying, look, I have other women on this floor who are actually giving birth right now, and I don't really have time to come in here, which is understandable. She's busy, but the way she said it, it was like, look, bitch, your baby's gonna die. I have other things to do. I have to prioritize other people whose baby is gonna make it. And I'm like, so I'm basically, because my baby's not going to make it, you're basically telling me, bitch, fuck you if you die, fuck you if, your heart starts, what if my heart gave up on me that day? She was basically saying, fuck you, fuck your life. There's people who are more important, who are actually going to have a child, and that's how people treat you in society as a woman. If you don't have kids, they treat you differently. And if you have children, you get more opportunities, because they feel like, you need it more than someone who's single. Yet the same people with kids will sit here at people who don't have kids and say that we have it better, right? So, or they'll tell you, you don't know shit about being a parent. You don't know shit about being a mother. Trust me, you don't understand how hard it is. They'll say a lot of bullshit when some of those people got help. They got mothers, they got people. Some of those people might not have help, but they're getting a check. They're getting extra money that you don't have, and a lot of times you're able to get knowledge and mentally grow from observing, and you start to observe what other people are doing wrong. So I feel like after that, I nearly died, I started to see how people parent their kids wrongly, how people ignore their children's feelings. I started to see the narcissism in a different way, and I was like, a lot of people say they're victims, and they're always crying about the people that have victimized them. They're perpetrators, but they don't even realize they're perpetrators their damn selves. And I couldn't believe that shit. So I felt like I was in hell, and I was dealing with a demon doctor, demon nurse. And then to top it off, my own mother called her friend behind my back because she said she couldn't deal with the stress of what I was going through, like if she was going through it. And instead of being strong for me, you know, and I expected her to be on some bullshit anyway, because my mom, her whole family are filled with narcissists. That's why I don't mess with them. So I already knew she's with the bullshit, but I didn't know she was gonna, you know, go so low as to invite her friend to come over. And her friend came over with her daughter, and her daughter must have been like 5 years old or 5, 6, around there. And I'm wondering, why are you bringing your daughter into my hospital room where I'm going through something, and I'm in a hospital gown, and this is private. This is a private situation. You gotta ask the person that's going through it if it's okay. She didn't ask me. The lady came in the room and with her daughter. I'm like, why would you even bring a kid in here? And when I told the lady, my mom's friend, to leave, I said, please leave. I said, please leave. She looked at me and smirked at me. And I said, please get out of my room. And then she didn't get out of my room. She just stood there looking at my mom like, you know, instead of excusing herself and telling my mom, I'll wait for you outside. So at this point, I said, get the fuck out of my room. And my aunt got up when I said that. When I finally went crazy and start cussing at these people because I'm in pain, and I'm not taking no shit while I was in pain. So while I'm in pain, I'm yelling, and I'm like, you know, get the fuck out of here, you know? And that's when my aunt got up and finally said something, which she should have said something as soon as, she should have got up and told her to leave as soon as I told her the first time or second time. But when I finally got crazy, that's when she got up and was like, oh, she's not playing, got up, told her to leave. She walked out, and she still kind of like, my aunt almost had to kind of force her and grab her arm to leave. And she's staring at me into my eyes with those demon eyes. You know what I'm saying? That blank, nasty look. And that's when I was like, oh, it's demons everywhere. My mom's a demon. My aunt's a demon. But I feel like God was trying to use my aunt in this situation, even though she's a demon. I felt like God just put her in that place because I didn't even talk to her. I feel like God just put her in that place to have my back, you know, so that I wouldn't have to suffer all these demons alone. So God told me, sometimes I'm gonna put people in your life and they might be demons, but they're there as a blessing and a curse, because you have to be aware that they're gonna do something, but you know, you'll get blessed. So I had to look at the good and the bad in that. And then I realized, oh, I'm having like a full demonic attack in my lowest point, at my lowest point. And once I realized that they were demons, I was just crying out to God. I was like, God, why? God, please just take me away. God, I don't want to live, please. I was just saying crazy shit. And the demons kind of calmed down because they were getting off on my pain. And, you know, and then I got mad at my mother because she even brought her friend without my permission. And then my mom started being the victim. She became the victim and said, oh, well, I'm just going to leave then. And she left with her friend and she left home. She left. She was mad instead of understanding what I was going through. So I had a full-on awakening and I felt like I died. And then my aunt, I felt the fakeness of everyone. And then I felt like people were talking bad behind my back. My best friend, I told you guys in other videos, my best friend, who I've known since elementary school, since 4th grade, sat there and told me, did you do something? Like, if I did something to purposely kill my baby, did you do something? Why would I do something and I'm at a hospital having a whole miscarriage? Like, that's weird. You're weird for that, you know? Like, what kind of demon you think I am? Like, I would do something on purpose and then go to the hospital. What can I do on purpose to kill a baby? What? Did I stick something? Did I stick something up my private? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Like, what the hell do you think I did? I'm not on drugs. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would you even say that to me? But I realized I was just having demons attacking me, and God was telling me my friend was never my friend. It's like I was just having an awakening, and I felt like God really just wanted me to know that the people I thought, everyone that I had, you know, their back, they just weren't who I thought that they were. That's all there is to it. They really weren't who I thought they were. So I was getting attacked by literally everyone. And when my friend said that to me, it made me think about my aunt and how she said that my cousins wish they would have made it. And I was like, this bitch is full of shit. No, they don't, because they would have called me if they really cared. And at least, like I said, gave me flowers or even a card, anything, just a call, anything, just to give me their condolences. But they didn't. So I'm saying, so I was thinking to myself, this bitch is lying, and she's only saying that to make her kids look good. Bitch, you so worried about making your kids look good. You could have just left them out of it. You're trying to make it seem like my cousins care about me when you know the motherfuckers don't give a fuck about what I'm going through. They probably are even jumping to conclusions, saying shit like my best friend did. They're probably talking shit about me. That's what I was thinking in my head. Like, they're probably talking shit about me. You're lying. You're a lying bitch. That's all I was thinking. It was like I had an awakening, and I was seeing the bullshit through everyone. And I was like, she's lying. He's lying. She's lying. And that's why I say narcissists are liars. They'll look you in the eye. It don't matter the situation you're going through. These motherfuckers are weird. So my mind is telling me she's lying. The nurse is lying. The doctor's lying. Your aunt's lying. Everyone's lying. Every time something was happening that wasn't right, or where I felt like someone was lying, you know, it wasn't in my head. It was true. It was actually true. So I realized, you know, I realized in that moment, like, oh, you know, my aunt is full of shit. My cousins don't really give a fuck. And eventually, hold on, you guys. So I was like, oh, she's lying. Like, you know, she's full of shit, basically. And I was thinking to myself, my cousin probably she don't give a fuck, right? My family is materialistic, bougie, like, they're all about money, they're weirdos. So I was just thinking to myself, like, she's full of shit. Her daughter was pregnant, just like me, but I think she wasn't pregnant like me. I think she was like maybe 2 months or something. I think she was really early still in her pregnancy, right? I feel like she was still early in her pregnancy. So maybe like 2 weeks later, I'm not lying to you guys, about 2 weeks later, she's like, I get a call and I didn't know who it was. She didn't even have, I never gave her my number. Her mom must have gave her my number, and my cousin called me. And I'm like, why is she calling me? And she's sobbing, she's crying. And I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, oh, I just had a miscarriage. And I was feeling so bad because I know you went through this. And I just wanted to send my condolences. And if you ever need something or anything, you know, you can call me. Or if you need help in anything, you can call me. I'm like, bitch, I'll never need your help, bitch. I never needed no one's help. Bitch, I definitely don't need your help now. And you're only calling me because you're going through something. And that's when God told me, people will only feel sorry for you when it's their turn to suffer. So when you're suffering, don't worry about who doesn't care about your suffering, because trust me, everyone who watched you suffer, when they're suffering, they're gonna think about you. That's what God was telling me. And God was telling me never take it personal. And God was telling me that when people talk bad about you, it's gonna happen to them. When people do bad things to you, there's gonna happen to them. Or so, they're going to pay for what they've done or what they've done. And I'm not saying she deserved that, because I wouldn't wish that on nobody. But what I will say is that I've seen it happen to me. I've seen it, I'm not perfect. It's been times where I was talking my little shit and got slapped in the face, and or you're talking bad about your coworker, and then your coworker just walks in on you at the right time. Like, everything. So my mind was telling me you were right. Your cousins didn't call, didn't care, didn't reach out to me. My mind was telling me, see, I told you. My conscious self was talking to the old me and saying, see, I told you. It was like myself was talking to myself, and I became myself's best friend. I became my own best friend because I wasn't even myself. I was living in an illusion of what the world is, of who I am as a person, as a human, as an animal. I started to realize, like, this is crazy, right? But like I said, I didn't want to say that, all this shit happened to her because she probably was talking about me or anything like that. I didn't want to say that something so bad happened to her because of what she did to me. But I was basically being told by God that most people are not going to feel sorry for your traumas until it happens to them. So when people try to tell you to get over it, or they try to tell you how to heal, it's because they haven't went through it. They're not in your shoes. They haven't lived your life. Sometimes you might go through things that aren't a big deal, but they're a big deal to you because you came a long way from a lot of bad shit. So when certain things don't happen the way you want them to happen, it hurts because you're like, I'm really trying. You don't know where I come from. And to someone else, they might have a good support system, a different lifestyle than yours. They didn't go through the same shit. So to them, it's like, oh, it's not a big deal. You just go get another one, or, and they're right. They're right. You got to keep going. But what I'm saying is that people will belittle your pain and what you're going through. So, after that, never talked to my cousin again. Not because I have something against her or whatever, but she's never reached out to me. We never talked prior to that situation. We were never close, and afterwards never hit me up again to check up on me, and I never called to check up on her. It is what it is. It was like, I feel like she was just having a vulnerable moment and she wanted to relate to someone, and I thought that was really fucked up. But I still spoke to her. I didn't call her out or nothing at a time where she's vulnerable. But I did think to myself, like, people will lie on you. People will make assumptions about you. People will say that other people are here for you. People will act like they care about you, or they love you, or they're there to support you, but they're only there for their own motives. She wanted to make herself look good. They probably talked about me because a part of them believes the lies that have been told about me. Even though they've been victimized, a part of them believes that I'm the narcissist, maybe. you know, they might even feel like maybe I'm the narcissist, and even though they went through the same shit with the same people, and in my eyes, I feel like you're the narcissist. You know what I'm saying? So there's two different perceptions, and my perception is only this because you lied to me. I never lied to you. I never lied to you about who I am. You lied to me and said little things like, oh, you know, your aunt, your cousins, your uncle wish they were here for you. You're the one telling lies. I wouldn't even say that shit. I would just be there for you, and that's it. Because if you there for somebody, it's gonna show. So that's how I knew she was full of shit. So in my eyes, I realized, you know, she's just a narcissist trying to click up with enemies of narcissists that played her, you know, that she feels like played her. So narcissists will lie to your face and not feel shit about lying to your face. And with me, I'm the type of person that, like, you can lose my trust in like a couple of seconds if you just lie to me. I respect people who are real. I respect people who tell the truth, who, you know, like I said, you know, people are just fake. You know, co-workers is fake. I'm telling my coworker, oh, I can't, you know, it's my last day. Like, oh, it's Friday. And they're like, your last day, you're leaving? I'm like, oh, no, I'm talking about it's Friday. It's the last day. It's Friday. Oh, we thought you were leaving. I said, oh, you guys are really sad that I'm leaving. Oh, you guys love me, huh? You know, because I do have like a dry sense of humor. So I'm like, oh, you guys love me, huh? Oh, you guys, I'm going to get some In-N-Out, like right before I go. So this In-N-Out line is always, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Ooh, look at everyone's coming. I beat you to the punch. Move. Anyway, so yeah, I just realized, you know, people are just, they lie a lot. And that's when I realized people be lying about anything and everything. And I wouldn't include my children if, you know, I know my children don't really care. I'm not gonna say they care when they don't, you know, shit like that. They just lie about anything, everything. And if they can lie about small shit, to me, you'll lie about big shit, you know. But yeah, clearly, you know, they did not care, but it wasn't their fault. And I know that God just put them in my path for a reason. It was more about God didn't want me to be completely alone when I was going through that. And that's when God told me, you know, I'm gonna put people in your path and they're just gonna show up at the right time, you know, but be vigilant of who these people are as well. Hi, hello. Let me do 2 doubles with grilled onion. And let me do 1 large animal style fries with extra spreading and extra cheese. And let me do...
We only have 1 size.
Okay, cool, yeah. That's it.
Oh, to go, it's gonna be $16.42.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so, I don't know why I said large fries. I'm hungry. Anyway, so yeah, these people will lie in your face, but God is always trying to wake you up. God, the signs are always there. It's just that we ignore them or we think it's not a big deal, you know. The narcissists, you know, they're always trying. Okay, so sometimes, oh, this is another thing before I end this video. Sometimes you're going to come across situations where they do tell you the truth because they're angry, right? You know, when they get angry and they like the mask just slips and shit and they go in on your ass. When stuff like that happens, it's not that they want to tell you the truth because I'm telling you now, they're pathological liars. And it's not that they're telling you the truth because they want you to suffer, because you're like, oh, they're looking at my eyes, they're giving me the death stare and they're telling me the truth about what they've done and shit like that. It's not that they give a fuck. It's that they want God is using God's power to make them bow down and tell you the truth. That's what it is. Because I've already been around these people for a long time. They will lie even when you catch them in the act and look you in the eyes. And I've came across a lot of people where I have to look them in the eyes because they think they're bullshitting me. They think I'm stupid or naive or something. Or, you know, a lot of them don't really, they can sense your, you know, God's power over you. That's why they fuck with you. But it's like they don't know if you're faking it or not. And not just that, but they feel like some of them don't know that you're like fully, some of them don't know that you're fully conscious of their actions. They think that you're still sleepwalking. They don't know that you're walking, you know, in the spirit. So when you, the more you walk in the spirit, they're just, they're forced to tell you the truth. So like I said, it's not that they want to tell you the truth, because if it was all left up to them, they'll just keep looking you in the eyes and keep lying. But they tell you the truth because they almost feel like trapped, like there's no escaping this. Like, you know, like I got caught, there's no, I'm not going to stop hearing about this. I got caught, and once you figure this out, everything else is going to unravel. So the only reason they lash out and get angry at you, because they get angry when you keep questioning them when clearly they're lying. So the only reason they lash out and tell you the truth is because God is, they know God is going to start revealing more truths to you. So they feel like